Welcome back. So before we start, let's just make sure that we enable the file extension in our computer machine. So if you're using Windows, like I do, go to the Start menu and try to go to Control Panel. So once you open that Control Panel, navigate to the File Folders options. And then inside of this window, let's go to the view, and then just make sure that you have this ticked on. So show hidden files, folders, and drivers. And let's see, and then you untick this section here, which is said hide extensions for known file types. So let me just show you once I click this on and hit apply, how my files will be viewed in the File Explorer. So for example, let me just grab a file here that has any extension to it. So here it is. So this is just a project folder containing index HTML file. And because I hidden the file extension to it, currently it is showing as a Google Chrome HTML document because I set it up previously to open with Chrome as soon as I double click on the file. But I don't see the extension of the file itself. So for example, if I want to rename this to text, it will stay the same. It will not change, right? So let me revert back and leave it as index. And then let me go back to the File Explorer options and untick this section. So now you will see the changes. There you go. So it's showing the proper extension to the file, which in this case is HTML. So this is important for us because now we know exactly when we're working with the files if this is HTML file or for example here is some CSS files and you know, some JavaScript. We got this out of the way. So the next thing to talk about is use of the text editor. So there are some well-known text editors that web developers are using, and it's matter of preference. I use Sublime Text most of the time. Sublime Text Editor. So it's a free to download. However, if you want to support the developer, there's an option for you to purchase it. It's pretty straightforward, and I'll be showing you in a second how it works. Other well-known text editors are Visual Studio Code. This is provided by Windows team, Microsoft team, I would say. It's free of charge. It's very well supported with the extensions and documentation, and sometimes I'm using this code editor as well for my day-to-day coding. Others that you might find work really good for you might be Atom. So yeah, just worth noting and checking that out. On any of these text editors websites, you can find lots of documentation, extensions, and whatnot. But let's get started with the Sublime Text Editor. Once you install it and get it up and running into your machine, you will see a window like this. And then here, I can pretty much start developing my first HTML page. And so let's do that. Let's create a new file. So if we use the command Control C, that means that we want to save this file. And let's choose the desktop and let's call this file index.html. Remember to use the proper extension to this file. And now this file is recognizable in the text editor as HTML, which is shown in the right corner below. If you by any chance you see something different here, you can change it up. There's a bunch of programming languages here that you can switch around and get them to work. Okay, so in our case it's HTML. There's a really good thing with these text editors, and for example in the Sublime text there's extension called Emmet, and let me just Google search it here so I can show you. So Emmet Sublime text editor. It says here essential toolkit for web developers, and it's basically a library that just helps you work faster when you're developing web pages. And let's see, I want to just go to the page where here it's actually supported here by Sublime Text Editor and many others. So let's see how we're gonna get that up and running inside of our Sublime. So it says here how to install. The preferred way to install Emmet is to use package control, which is just another command in the Sublime Text. Open command palette in Sublime Text, pick install package command, and find install Emmet plugin. Now I already have this plugin installed, but for you, you can follow along how to do this. So hit Control Shift P, and then type in here install, and there you go. Install package is the first choice. Click on this, then the new window will pop up, and here just start typing Emmet. So yeah, so I already have it installed, so it's not showing for me. How you can see that there's Emmet for CSS and for other programming languages here. But anyways, in your case, it's going to show up as a first result. Just click on that and it's going to be installed to you. To exit out from this window, just click Escape. And now because I know that Emmet is installed, I can do something like this. I can put a apostrophe and just click Tab. So this enables me to autofill my index.html document with the proper HTML head tags. So in order for our HTML to work in a web browser, we need to have at least this building blocks so the HTML file can render properly in the web page. So just quickly covering what these tags stand for. So every HTML element starts with the doc type, explaining the browser that this is the HTML file. Then the HTML tag with just a attribute language, English. And if you noticed, working with the HTML and CSS, later on we're going to see that, there's always opening and closing tag. So for example, if I click on the HTML here, beginning tag, there's a corresponding closing tag here with the prepend /. Same goes for the head tag, you see that here, and for the body tag. So in order for our HTML document to work, it needs to have doc type, HTML open and closing tag, then our head tag, and then our body. This is where we will be writing our text, our pretty much body of our web page. For example, I can write, this is my body element. The head section here is in charge for including style sheets, providing the title tags of our HTML document, and other meta tags included for responsive design and how it's going to behave in a browser, which we'll be covering in a responsive design section of our tutorials. So yes, so this is our body element. This is what we wrote in our body section. So if we save this file and let's navigate to our desktop and find this file, here it is, index. So if I open this, I will see my first web page up and running in a web browser.